And I just want to put, no, I'll say that for another question. I was about to say, I want to put people onto something that makes my skin glow really, really good.
No, put the people on.
Okay. It's this oil called brown sugar babe oil. Listen, I get stopped in the grocery store. I get stopped when I'm shopping, on the streets, everything. The skin is glowing and it smells amazing. I don't get paid to say this, but I know women love getting compliments from other women on the street, and I just wanted to put that out there, because if you like to get compliments all the time, get this oil, baby.
Who makes brown sugar babies?
I forgot the lady who makes the brown sugar babe, but it's brownsugarbabe.net.
Okay, that's the name of the company.
Yeah, brownsugarbabe.net, right? And listen, there's a million different oils on there, okay? It's a million different ones, but the one I got the most compliment on was Hibiscus Drive and Scent of a Stallion, Wild Card, and Lotus Flower Bomb. Trust me when I say this, you need this in your life.
Thank you, and can we thank her for not gatekeeping something that will make us feel good about ourselves, that smells good? Thank you. What does Own Your Glow mean to you?
So when I hear Own Your Glow, the first thing that I think of is not being afraid to be seen trying. A lot of the time when you try something new, you have a fear of being perceived. And I think being very sturdy in who you are, especially when you don't know what you're doing, is extremely important. Because when you get to the point where you do know what you're doing, not only can you teach other people how to do that, but you also feel almost vindicated as a woman. And like I mentioned before, someone who was late diagnosed with ADHD, being afraid to be perceived is something that rejection sensitivity is something that you have to deal with often. So I've had to become very comfortable in not being afraid to be seen trying, even if I'm really bad at it. Yeah. You gotta do it. You gotta try it, because one day you won't be bad at it anymore.
Excellent. Thank you so much. What does Own Your Glow mean to you?
Well, I think owning your glow is owning your story, whatever that looks like. I know for me, as I started my journey with my natural hair, I come from the era of relaxers, okay? We love the straight hair, so that transition to my natural hair definitely it was a mind shift. And it was also owning what belonged to me, what grew out of my scalp, also adapting what that looked like. Because of course in this industry of beauty, we have this ideology of what beauty is. So with my natural hair journey, it also allowed me to own who I am as a woman, as a Black woman, as a woman with kinky curly coils, and be okay with that. And that's my story, so I own that, and that's how I own my glow.
Excellent. I love that. I love that. I love that. So, piggybacking off of that, and anyone can go, we don't even have to go in the same order. Let's just make this more like a conversation. And you guys are welcome. You are a part of this conversation. So if you have any questions, feel free, you can jot it down in your notes section on your phone and just pop your hand up when it's time for questions, because we want this to be a healing conversation, right? Because something that you said that was key is like, I had to own all of me, which means I now have to tear down everything that has told me that what's coming out of me is wrong. And that's a process, right? So let's talk about the process to owning your glow. Tell me about a time when you recognized your confidence was low and you had to fix it, heal it, step into your life.
One thing I could think about, I know you guys know how big Mac was back in the day.
Oh, Mac girlies, ooh baby. Did we all have a little ooh baby?
Listen, it took me 4 years to get into Mac, because every time I would go, they would look at my makeup, I wouldn't even make it past that, you know, and I still had to show up every time, like, I know I'm ready now, like, I know we gotta get me in there now, and I wasn't. So every day, I just practiced with my sister. We went on FaceTime, we sent each other hard pictures, and, you know, I had to realize, like, look, this is what you know how to do, this is what you need to get better at, and I feel like a lot of times, when we get the first no, or the first closed door, a lot of times we like, all right, well, that's it. Me, I am determined. I don't care how many years. It took me 4 years, like I said. So when I finally got it right and I went to that interview, I left the interview, they said, can you go to the next interview? I said, what, Lord? Thank you, Jesus. And I just love that experience so much because once I got behind that counter, I was able to make so many women feel seen, so many women feel beautiful. It wasn't even just about makeup. It was how women left after they got out of my chair. So I love that so much.
Thank you so much for sharing that story with us. Anyone else? Anyone?
So, something that I thought of immediately was this content creator journey that I'm on. I see some hands shaking in the building.
Any content creators in the building? Yeah, man.
Hey, y'all. So, the content creator journey as a black woman, first of all, let's just start there, is trials and triumph all in one. But as a content creator, sometimes, and I heard someone say this on an earlier panel, sometimes you get caught up in the vanity metrics of it all. You work so hard on that video. The clarity is there, the storyline is there, and then it flops. Not you getting 200 views on that video. So I was in a season where I was like, well, what am I doing wrong? I see everybody getting all these opportunities and I'm just not getting these opportunities, and I know I'm working as hard as everybody else. And so you condition yourself to believe that what you are doing is incorrect, when in actuality, your audience is still there. The people who want to watch you are going to watch you. But I found myself very low, like just speaking about myself in a very negative way, speaking about my artistry in a negative way. And sometimes we welcome people into our lives that don't need to be there. And they don't help you with that. They help destroy your confidence. So I had to remember that my mama didn't raise nobody like that. Shout out to my mom, she's over there.
Thank you, Mama.
She didn't raise nobody like that. My mother has always told me to hold my head high. I've always been raised as someone with shoulders back, always. So I could not allow vanity metrics. I could not allow somebody's app to make me feel less than who I was. So that is the most recent time I felt very low in my confidence.
Thank you so much.
I want to pick back up what you said. I know you said you're a teacher, so I'm a corporate girly. I mean, I do content by night. How you have the 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9. So, of course, me being in my corporate space, there's always an opportunity for training, development. So there was this one time where I had a training class, and in what I do, I find myself in a room more, male-centered. And it was a training class, and one of the icebreakers is that you had to sit next to your, classmate, and you had to describe them. Give them one description. You did not know them or anything. The first description the gentleman gave to me was that I was sure of myself, assertive, aggressive. He did not know. These were the words. And I'll never forget it because he did not know me. I didn't have a conversation with him. So while those words were powerful and strong, it made me feel like, what am I doing wrong? Especially in a corporate space, it's like, you don't want to be seen as that aggressive, assertive woman, right? In terms of that. So at the end of the day, I owned it. At the end of that class, I was aggressive, I was assertive, and I was a leader. So that's how I walked away with that messaging. So I just receive that as that how people receive me. I just don't want people to receive it as an intimidation because I know how that feels. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. How do you, so as you were talking, I was thinking about our inner glow, our aura, right? How people meet us when we first walk into the room. How do you keep your inner glow clean? Maya Angelou has a quote. She says, "You must always keep a space inside of you pristine. Do not let anyone walk through it with their dirty boots." How do you keep your inner glow clean?
Well, first of all, I believe I'm who I think I am. Okay? So I've been able to walk in rooms and feel exactly that. I'm just as beautiful as you and as you. And I also have enough space to tell you how beautiful you are. You know? And so when I go in with that type of energy, I don't care what you over there talking or what you over there talking, I'm going directly to the people who's positive with me. You know what I mean? So I feel like when you go into a space and you get the yes, like I said earlier, like there's no mean girl energy, it's really easy to walk in those rooms and be inspired and be inspiring to other people. So I just go in with knowing who I am. I'm a compassionate person. I like to influence. I like for people to leave me and feel better about themselves. Like I said, I'm a makeup artist, so every time somebody get out of my chair, they leave feeling way better than what they came in before.
Excellent, excellent. I believe who I say I am. Say it one more time.
I believe I am who I say I am.
I believe I am who I say I am. That's powerful. Thank you.
I love that. I am also exactly who I think I am. Let's be very clear. I say all the time, in my head, I'm just like Beyonce. So that's how I keep my glow clean. That was the question.
Clean.
Okay, I gotta keep it clean. So I have to remember my power, my internal power. I say my prayers out loud. That is something.
That's something.
They say to write the vision and make it plain. I also believe in saying the vision and making it plain. So I say my prayers out loud, and those are things that I am thinking about all day long. What did you ask God for today? What did you ask God for last week? And how is it showing up in your life? Because God works quick. I don't know if anybody has had God work real quick. If you've ever said that prayer, take them people out of my life that's not supposed to, you know that prayer. And he'll
Come through like the Rico man.
Quick, Rico, everybody's sweet, right? So remembering what I asked God for, and being present enough to see it happen. And not to skate over it. So I think that's what it is for me. I am exactly who I think I am because God said so, and because I said so, and because I think I'm Beyonce in my head. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you.
And I'll third that. I am who I say I am. But I think for me, in keeping things clean, it's keeping the end in mind. Focus, mindset, right? If you already know that that's where you want to end up, you gotta, how you say, bob and weave. Bob and use your weave, okay? Get out of there. Any distractions, because they will be distractions. There will be potholes. There will be people that will try to take you off your center. So when I think about that and keeping clean, it's just staying focused, your mindset, whatever it is that you want to get to, and keeping the end in mind.
Excellent. How does our mental health play into owning our glow?
The way that my mental health play into it, I try to make sure that I show up for me. And my new favorite word of the season is no. Period. And also, like you said, period. No over-explaining myself. And I know that if I don't have enough room for myself, then I'm gonna have enough room for you. So I make sure that I have space to do my Pilates, my yoga in the water, my 3-mile walks. So when I get up here, I can look fine, you know, because how I look and how I feel is the most important thing. So saying no and just making sure that my mental health is intact, because if it's not, then I can't show up for myself. So, yeah.
I think with mental health, if you're not well mentally, you can't do anything else.
You can.
You can try, you can push yourself, but then you get burned out. So I think for me, my mental health is the thing that I think about the most. No boundaries. I don't want to do that. And I only do what I feel comfortable doing. I don't overextend myself anymore. And that's, I think, there once upon a time I was very burnt out in my surroundings, going into environments that drained me more than anything. I now believe that you only should go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated. That is something to keep top of mind when it comes to caring for your mental health, because if you are not entering spaces, if you are not doing things for yourself and others to make sure that you are taken care of up here, I don't think anything else is going to work how you want it to work.
As far as mental space, I say allow yourself to feel. I know we get lost, and mental health is like, it's almost trendy now, right? Like we just adapted because it's something trendy to say. But I also think with mental health, it's okay to feel. It's okay to have those feelings, right? Because they're fleeting. You know, own it, recognize what it is, and figure out what it is that you need to do to get on a better path forward. I know for me, I enjoy like working out. I like doing, my latest thing I love is Pilates. So, yes, okay. So it's like I'm owning that and I'm making time to do stuff for me and also pouring in my cup. How they say, pour in your cup before you can offer to others. You know, my cup has to be full before I can do anything for anyone else. Like the overfill is for everybody else. Right. That's where the no comes in. That's where the boundaries come in. But I just say with mental health, it's okay to feel. Because that's part of the process. That's part of the growth. So that's how
And to give yourself permission to do so.
Correct.
Excellent, excellent. I just want to hold space for anyone in the room. I know when mental health comes into play and we talk about being mentally sound in order to glow and own our glow, I don't want to take for granted there could be someone in the room that is highly triggered by that conversation. I just want you to know that you are loved, that you are seen, that you are valued, that you are not crazy, that you are not bad, but you come from a lineage of women who have had to carry the world literally on their back. And although black don't crack physically, sometimes it cracks mentally and spiritually and emotionally. And the best way to own your glow is to make sure that you take care of all of that, right? I want to thank our panelists for today. Can you give it up for them, please? Now, one glow tip. Go.
I have a quote.
Boom.
I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I'm who you think I think I am.
Okay. Ow! Glow tip. Go.
Listen, mine is not as good as that quote. Take care of your skin, okay? Drink your water. Quality skincare. Go to sleep. Get off them people's internet. Okay, listen. Take care of yourself. Black women take care of everybody else. But in this season, especially, take care of yourself. Mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the above. Take care of who you are, who you want to be, and who you see yourself being 10 years down the road.
That's excellent.
Not just today.
Excellent. Thank you.
I love that. I love that.
Last
Okay,
but not
I'll
least,
make
glow
it quick.
tip.
I'll make it quick. Black don't crack, but it melts. So wear your SPF all the time. So wear your SPF. That's my top glow recommendation. And don't be so hard on yourself. It's okay. It's okay. And it's not as bad as you think.
Excellent. It always gets better. Thank you to our panel. Can you give it up for our panel, please?